Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is Isabel, and I guess, okay, so the prompt is to discuss various types of leadership approaches and which one made the most sense to each person. Um, so I wasn't sure the prompt was talking about the leadership approaches in chapters 4 and 5, since that was the third week chapter reading. But I went with what was in chapter 4 and 5, not like the authoritarian leadership styles, which was chapter like 2 or something. Um, so basically, I looked at pastoral theory, participation, and supportive leadership. And the reason that I thought those ones made the most sense to me is
The video
because
thing is Danielle's son.
they included the most. They both include like opinions of the followers, which I think is really important, and those also seem really similar to the democratic style of leadership, which also includes like having others' opinions. And I just think that's important because if you don't have that, then people may not agree with you. And I think if you ask people what they think and get their ideas and base your decisions off of like what other people think, then everybody will be generally a lot happier like in the long run. So I thought those made the most sense to me.
Perfect. The one that stood out most to me was in chapter 4. I think it was transformational leadership, and that's where like you're helping people to change for the positive. And we kind of talked about this a little bit in our first video about how that's what makes a good leader. And that just made the most sense to me since I recently got promoted to a shift manager at Starbucks. I've been noticing that's been more my style of leading others, is I try to help them improve and not just use them for their strengths and then that's all I use them for. But instead I will try to have them grow in their weaknesses, because I feel like it makes them a better coworker as a whole if they know a lot about every position at our store instead of just a little bit of one. So that's one that made the most sense to me because I was able to apply it to my own life and see it like right away. Like, oh, this is what I'm learning about in school. I get it.
Nice. My turn?
Yep.
Cool. One that I liked was situational and path goal. The one in the path goal that we had in our book, it kind of had like a diagram of low and high motivated workers and low and high like ability of the workers. That was kind of like the X and Y axis, and then there's 4 groups or whatever. You guys saw that, right? Well, in a previous book and in one of my other classes, there was one just like it, but it was the one in the book that we're reading now. That was for the workers. It was the motivation of the workers, and it was the ability of the workers. The one that I read in a previous book, it's by Narthouse. You guys might have read this. The whole chapter is on situational theory, and it has like the same exact block pretty much, but except it's how to approach those 4 different groups of people. You know, people with high motivation, low motivation. It was, instead of the X and Y axis being motivation and ability, it was support and directive. You have to be this supportive and this directive for that type of person. You know, you have to be high supportive, low supportive, high. You know what I mean? What I like about it is that it pertains to different groups of people. You know, just like you said, and just like Caleb said in the last video, that you know people get motivated differently. You know, people all think differently. You know, you need to be able to inspire different people in different ways. You need to actually learn the person. You know, motivate them, and that's what I like about situational, is that I feel like you can apply it to everybody. But the only thing that I don't like about it is that it's not very in depth. I feel like it needs to get more in depth with like the relationship aspect of it, as well as like the working environment, how to create that right working environment in order to inspire all those different types of people. And yeah, and just basically that it needs a little more depth. But other than that, I feel like it's good for like understanding different people, being open-minded, and I feel like it's a good way to lead.
My turn.
How do you guys feel about the authoritarian style of leadership?
I feel like it's good in like certain things, you know, like in I don't know, maybe in like certain businesses or structures that allow for that. But if we're going for like a global standpoint here, I don't really care for it. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, it's necessary in some situations where you have to kind of put your foot down type of stuff, but I'm more, for the, different types of leadership, but outside of the authoritarian, it's doesn't quite work for most.
Yeah.
Scary.
Cynthia.
All right. Path goal, blah, blah, blah. Path goal theory. So, it's similar to what Caleb was talking about, trying to just lead in that same direction, and you need that help with everybody. Like you said, like a shift supervisor needs the help of the baristas. They can't just do it on their own. Where I've tried doing it all on my own, I did not like the way they did it, in the way that you want them to do it. So they can eventually. I'm sorry, I'm hearing myself too much.
No, it's hard to talk and hear that at the same time.
Yeah. So that you guys can lead to success. And I'm still kind of in the process of reading through this whole thing, but that's kind of like where I stopped at. All right, I'm getting some feedback too, so I'm kind of hearing myself. For me, it was more, just like the situational type of leadership is something that I found is good for, motivating individuals. As a manager, I'm one of those type of people that I cater my management and leadership style to each individual. There is sometimes that I have to use like the authoritarian, leadership style. I mean, I actually just had somebody who left us, and she was one person I had to use that style with constantly, because if I didn't do it, either nothing would get done or she wouldn't learn from, any type of training or anything like that. So she was highly motivated, but slow. So having to kind of drill that into her brain what to do actually worked in that case. But then I have somebody else who, was highly motivated and, highly, has a high ability to it. And I just changed my leadership style in that case. Of that person, I don't have to micromanage. That person, I can let them do their job and run wild, and I know that they will get it done, and I know that they will do the right thing in most situations. So situational type of leadership for me works the best because, cater my leadership style to each individual, that I'm working with. So
I actually agree with you. I kind of think that I would add that now to like my preferred style as well, because a manager that I used to have told me that before too, like that she has to cater for. This was at like a previous job, but she also did that where she catered the way that she spoke and like each person individually. You get like better responses from people, and I never heard anyone say that before until like told me that. So I agree with you. I think that's probably like one of the more effective leadership styles.
My question to you is that the person that you had to micromanage, you said they left, right? She actually, today was her last day. Are you like more relieved on the fact that someone like that left your environment? Kind of like, to be honest, yes, I am relieved that that person has gone. I mean, she was reliable in the sense that she was on time. She was very customer service oriented. Wasn't good at the dynamics of the job. She wasn't a salesperson. Wasn't supposed to be in a sales role. It's just kind of like everything kind of just stacks up, and you can only do so much as a leader if their ability is low to train them and coach them after, 2 years. And multiple people tried. It wasn't just me. So it's just more or less jobs just aren't for certain people. And
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
recognized that.
I think you hit on the nose, Daniel, that just like, I think whatever like approach you take, you have to be adaptable and you have to have a little bit of that situational leadership in there because everyone is so different and everyone responds to different leadership styles. You have to be ready to approach it differently.
With her, it's one of those things like, I just didn't try one type of leadership, style. You try multiple over time. If one thing doesn't work, you go to the next and see if that works, or you go to the next, or read their personality, or read their, their cues, and try to, you don't want to see anybody fail. That's,
Yeah.
not the point of it. So you want them to succeed. It makes them look good. It makes you look good. So
There was literally some leadership that I had to use where it was, I just wrote stuff down on a sticky note for them, and I'm like, here you go. That's all they wanted.
yeah.
Like, I'm in this other class that we do like scenarios and stuff like that. And one of the scenarios was like, they told me that I was talking to them too much. So like a lot of people that you were helping, they actually sometimes are like, it's okay, we're cool. So
Yeah.
you gotta learn like how
You just kind of learn as you go, what each individual person, what their likes and dislikes are, when it comes to, leadership and motivation, and just kind of take it from there.
One part of the prompt was it said discuss your own beliefs about leadership and how leaders can motivate followers to achieve goals. I mean, I pretty much just take that, like, I don't know, like, what are some like motivating techniques? I kind of just wrote down like building trust with one another, kind of like getting to know each other, because everybody's inspired differently, everybody's motivated differently. So I feel like getting to know them is the first step. Keeping communication open, an open mind. I wrote down an open mind. But yeah, I pretty much just like I wrote down listening, paying attention, and listening to everybody in order to figure out like which ways are the best ways to motivate that person.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, even like down to just
with age too. Like I have a girl who's only 18, and this is like her first job, and so she kind of doesn't take things very well sometimes. She gets like really emotional. So I think like with younger people that are maybe not as experienced and haven't had criticism before, like a lighter approach taken with them.
Awesome. I think, Eric, to answer like your question / prompt, I would say like leading by example, I think is a great way to have people follow you, because no one's going to follow a leader that isn't authentic and or also a hypocrite. I think you have to be just like whatever you're asking people, you have to be at least that and probably more.
Yeah, like you have to be a leader, you have to be the one. Yeah, exactly. You have to be doing more than that on the side without even like thinking about it,
Yep.
we're good on time, you guys.
Timing at, sorry guys.
I think we're right at 15 minutes.
We're done.
perfect.
Group 3.
Discussion, guys.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thank you. We got everything on there. We got it all hooked up to